Let's make a trip down to Norfolk to chat with a member of the Tides. Our next guest is hitting the cover off the ball. All he's doing this season since coming over to the Orioles organization is hitting .356. His OPS, 1,113. I hear that's okay. It might be about time for him to get a call. He is Jahmai Jones, and he's with us now here on GCR. Jahmai, it's Glenn and Kyle and Andrew in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes for us this morning.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited to be on here.
Absolutely, dude. All right, so we're doing this really bad bit this morning, and we're sorry that you run into this.
I will show you briefly.
Yeah, what our buddy
studio.
Andrew looks like this morning. He's struggling, dressed up as a shark, and he's doing shots of tuna fish and sardine juice off an ice luge every 10 minutes. With that in mind, give me the worst bet you've ever lost in your life in any sort of way. Friendly bet among friends, anything along those lines, a penalty that perhaps you had to pay, a kangaroo court, something along those lines. Give me the worst one in your life, Jahmai.
Oh, man. The worst one. Jeez, I haven't been asked this question in a minute. I don't even remember.
All right, we could replace it.
I have lost.
We could replace it with the grossest food or beverage you've ever consumed in your life.
Grossest food or beverage. So
I like that there's clearly a story to this, and I like that part of it.
So in high school we had these things that we called base load teams. So we had this thing where we felt like we would create teams within the team to compete against each other to ultimately bring us together at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
So there was like a huge draft and everything during the varsity retreat that, 3 different groups, the Zaxby's, the Baconators, and the Ties. And this dates back, way before me when it came to the groups. And I was drafted as a Zaxby my freshman year. And initiation is you have to drink an entire Zax sauce from Zaxby's. Straight to
okay, so the sauce is tasty. Yes, it's a tasty sauce. But how much of it did you have to consume?
The entire kit, like the entire one that they give you on the side.
Oh, the
right
little, the little thing. Yeah, that's a bit much.
Have you gone back to the well? Do you eat Zaxby's sauce anymore?
Yeah, correct.
No, I definitely do. Might have taken a little bit, but I definitely do.
We had a we did another bet one morning, and we had a psychopath who ate 19 ounces of Chick-fil-A sauce in like 5 minutes. Like just scarfed it. Yeah, correct. Exactly right. And I love Chick-fil-A sauce, but I'll pass.
But
no doubt.
That's okay.
No doubt, man. All right, Jahmai, you're on one right now. Since coming over to this organization, what is it? Is this just, hey man, this was what I was progressing towards. I'm not surprised by it at all. Like what has it been this season that it has clicked at a truly absurd? It's one thing to have a good year. What you're having is a little bit beyond that.
No, I don't know. I'm just really trying to stick to the things that I do well in my approach, and really just trying to take every day as it is, not getting too ahead of myself, not really focusing on what has happened or what's in front of me, just kind of trying to be in the moment every single time I step in the box, regardless of if it's positive or negative, and just learning from every single at bat. In AAA, you're facing a bunch of guys who have big league time or on the verge of getting their shot. So, the guys that I'm facing now are probably going to be the guys I face throughout my career. And they're already good arms. They're guys who are established, that are up and down, that know how to get big league guys out. So I understand that, as much as this is playing a baseball game, it's also a learning opportunity for people that I'm going to be seeing at some point in my career, hopefully down the road.
I understand. I completely understand what you're saying. Jahmai Jones is with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. At a young age, right? And this is, baseball's a business, and you know how that works, but at still a young point in your career, to be traded, to go to an organization, and really to have it happen in the midst of a pandemic. How tough was that for you? What have you learned? How has it maybe helped you as a baseball player, as a man going through something like that?
It's definitely different when you receive a phone call that you're being traded, especially me being with the team since 2015 and them drafting me and ultimately debuting with them. You get this kind of sense of like you get comfortable of the relationships that you've built and the environment that you've been in that you're ready to go back to at the next spring training to really compete, knowing that you don't have to reintroduce yourself or have first impressions again and go throughout that process. So the trade happened, I think like maybe a week and a half before I was supposed to head to spring training. So I get a phone call and, I'm told I'm being traded. And my first reaction is like kind of a little bit of a shock factor. You're like, dang, I really just got traded.
Right.
like it's crazy. But the initial shock factor is over. And I really think to myself, like, this is a great opportunity. A team traded for me. And that means they really want me. So I just knew going into that environment that just to be myself, this team probably already has scouted, seen me play, knows who I am. So the only thing I have to do is just continue doing what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And learning from everybody that's in a new organization. I mean, there's so many good minds and good players over here that I haven't been around. So for me to be able to be put into an environment surrounded by that, it just allows me to grow even more as a player and a person.
Jahmai Jones with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Obviously, by the way, that's working. You mentioned you got to make your debut last year. How ready do you feel between having already been to the big league level and what you've been doing at AAA? Like, how ready? And I know it's not your decision, and I'm not trying to get you to say the wrong thing. I want to make that very clear. But like, how ready do you feel to be an everyday major league second baseman at this point?
I definitely feel good about it. I feel like no matter where I am, I'm going to compete and play my game. So at that point, it's always about being ready. I had to be ready the minute I was first drafted, if that were the case. But, right now, like I said, I'm just trying to continue doing the things I do well, continue playing my game, and ultimately waiting for the Orioles to tell me, when it's time. At the end of the day, it's not my decision.
Yep.
So I know that no matter what happens, I just got to continue playing my game and things will fall into place where they should. But I try not to get too consumed with I should be going up or I shouldn't be going up or who's playing well, who's not. Just more of just where my feet are that day. If I'm in the lineup, that's all I'm focused on for that day, who I'm facing and going about my business. Because at the end of the day, it's more stress when you're trying to think about, I should be going up, I should be going down, or
sure,
I'm playing well, he's not playing well, or he's playing well, I'm not playing well. Man, I'm so far to go where, it's completely out of my control. So if they were to give me the call today, I feel like I'd be ready to go. And if they give me the call 2 months from now or next year, wherever it may be, I feel like I'll be ready when that time happens.
You seem like you kind of have filled off the minor league prospect bingo card a little bit. Like you were a really high profile top 100 guy, and then you obviously get traded, and you've gone through the gamut of emotions. Like, how does that help you as far as comfort and just being able to focus on the task at hand? And do you think it has made you more mentally tough to have gone through all of this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely you learn a lot from the struggles, and learning that younger rather than older, I feel like it's just worth even more when it comes to your career. And I understood the process at a young age, being around a lot of guys, especially in Georgia, who have been drafted, and coming from a family of athletes. Like it's really been a lot of help from a lot of different places that have allowed me to understand where I'm at today. So understanding that if I were to just succeed and never fail, and then my first struggle is in the big leagues and trying to come back from that, I feel like would be difficult. But understanding of how the struggles went in the minors and understanding myself as a player more and learning from that and learning how to overcome that within a season is where I feel like I learned the most about who I am, learned the most about who I am as a player, as a person, my attitude, how everything coincides with one another during a season of just competing, not only against the other players on the team, but just against yourself. That's the biggest thing going throughout any season, is that you're understanding that you're fighting yourself constantly, of when you're going well, trying not to get too high, and when you're going bad, trying not to get too low, and trying to stay this even-keeled person throughout the season, but understanding that you still have this quiet confidence to go about yourself, knowing that anytime I step out on the field, I can impact a game.
He is Jahmai Jones. He's with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Jahmai, I'm worried that you're going to make me cry, but I want to talk about Father's Day. We'll save the next shot for a couple minutes.
We'll
Not the appropriate time.
Suffer through.
I want to talk to you about Father's Day because I was checking out your Twitter, and I think some people know the story of your dad, and I don't know that everybody does, but. I can only imagine what this weekend means to you and your emotions, not having him here anymore, and what you try to do for him as you play baseball. Can you take me through your relationship with your father, losing him, and how important it is to you to continue to honor him as you play?
Yeah. So my dad passed away from a brain aneurysm at the age of 42, going into my freshman year of high school. So I was 13, getting ready to turn 14, and pretty much lost them within a day. And, it was tough going through that, like emotionally and physically at the time of I'm about to start high school and a lot of things are changing, and I lose one of two of the biggest role models I've had in my entire life, the other one being my mom. And it definitely hits hard. Father's Day and his birthday, the day he passed, those are dates that are now kind of engraved into your head. Unfortunately, in the sense of that, there is a sense of a little bit of sadness on those days. But knowing that, I have a huge support system behind me through my friends and my family, knowing that, there's a bigger plan out there. I don't know why it had to happen so soon. I don't look at it as I got cheated. It's unfair. Whatever was supposed to happen happened in that short period of time. And I learned a lot within the relationship I had with him from a young age. So I don't ever want to look at something as, my life is, I'm getting cheated in some way, shape, or form because of losing my dad. Like, yes, would I rather have him here with me right now? Of course, anybody would. But I learned a lot from him, and my mom stepped in when he passed and really loved our entire family for both parents. It was kind of unbelievable what she has done, being a single mother since then. And, my relationship with him was how you would think it is, between any father that was an athlete and any father that isn't an athlete. He loved us very much, didn't care if we played sports or not, but if we did, he was going to make sure that we saw it to the end. If we started a season, we were going to finish the season regardless of if we liked that sport or not. So I learned a lot of off the field lessons from him, but more lessons came from non-sport related topics of understanding of how I'm supposed to live as a person, as a man, my faith in everything that kind of encompasses who I am was 50% from him. And a lot of it just had to do with, loving each other. Like our family is so close right now. And I don't think I would have been able to get through that tragedy without my family, my brothers and sisters, my mom. Like there's also a couple other influences that have been around me, but I had an unbelievable relationship with him to the point where I understood that it was going to hurt in the beginning, and it still does. I still think about him every day, but I definitely learned a lot from him. And, Father's Day coming up, like I said, there's a little bit of sadness coming with it, but at the same time, I know he's watching over me, hasn't missed a game since. And, just because he's not in the stands doesn't mean he's not always with me. So
it's awesome.
So it definitely means a lot to me.
That's awesome, man. And I saw that you got to hit a home run the other day when your mom was at the game. How often is your mom at the games? Was that like a unique thing? And were you feeling a little bit like I got to hit a home run tonight? Mom's here.
No, so I had some family in town. My mom, my mom's brother, his wife, my sisters, my niece, and my nephew. And being on the West Coast for so long, me being one of 6 kids, it's kind of hard for my mom to spread herself out everywhere. It's very difficult, especially to go from Georgia to California or Arizona, wherever I'm playing, to get to see me play. So when I got traded, she got obviously, excited because I'm closer to home. I'm on the same time zone, and she's able to do things like this to come and see me play. So when she was in the stands, regardless of what happens, my mom is probably arguably my biggest supporter. regardless if I have a good game or a bad game. And, you know, every time I got on deck, I'd wave to them, and whatever happened, happened. If I got out, I got out. If
Sure.
I got a hit, I got a hit. But, I mean, connected on a good pitch and snuck out of the park.
That's
and
so
as
cool.
I was going around, you know, they're standing up and going crazy. So always just wanted to show them some love. I mean, it's not a rare thing, but it's definitely a lot of fun when they come into town, and something that I definitely don't take for granted.
That's
when
so cool,
she's
man.
there.
That's so cool, Jahmai. That's such a cool story. What a neat moment that had to be for your whole family. So, by the way, how did you end up playing baseball anyway? Like you mentioned, you know, your dad's an athlete. He's a football player. Your brothers are football players. How did it end up being baseball for you?
I mean, I might as well have just picked it out of a hat. No. So, I mean, I played football growing up, and I liked it a lot. I really did.
Yeah.
But I started playing baseball. We kind of all tried different sports. So football, baseball, basketball, track. And, you know, we would do it all and kind of see what we liked. And ultimately baseball is kind of what I gravitated towards. I liked football games, and that adrenaline you get and the kind of headspace that you're in was more natural for me.
Sure.
Just because that was the environment I was brought up in. I was watching several football games, film, everything. So the football instincts when I was younger were there, but I gravitated more towards baseball practice, putting in the work for baseball, wanting to be at the baseball field, playing 3-4 games in a day. Like that stuff got me excited. And I probably really started to understand that when I got to high school. I mean, obviously when my dad passed, like it wasn't like I was like, I need to get my mind, go play football. It was like I wanted to go play baseball or go hit, to take my mind off of just the emotions that I was feeling at the time. So baseball became kind of a safe haven for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was what I loved. I couldn't get my mind off of it, no matter how much I wanted to. So when ultimately it came down to the choice of, you know, baseball, football, etc., I was like, I want to do baseball, see where it takes me, and whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna have no regrets of what happens in my career. But I've loved this sport ever since I first started playing it.
It looks like it's going to work out for you, Jahmai. It looks like that decision is going to end up proving to be a pretty good one, my friend. It looks like it's going to be the case. Hey, if you guys are headed down that way this weekend, post-game fireworks tonight and tomorrow night with the Norfolk Tides. A great opportunity for you to get out, you know, make a weekend of it. Go to Virginia Beach and then head over to Norfolk, see this group of players. I know, you know, obviously it's tough. Is there excitement about knowing that this organization was going through a rebuild and identified you as someone, you know, as you referenced earlier, they wanted you, they scouted you, but they identified you as someone who can really be a part of this turnaround? Are you feeling some of that excitement right now?
Yeah, I am. I knew that they were going for a certain kind of player, and all the players that I'm surrounded by and that I've seen throughout this organization are really good players. I'm really excited for the years to come, and the fact that I get to be a part of something like this this early in my career is exciting. It definitely adds extra excitement when you see the lower levels doing well, when you see the successes on your own team and the successes throughout the entire organization. I mean, they've made a lot of trades, a lot of moves, and brought in a lot of good players that I'm really excited to play with and excited to see what happens in the future, regardless of if I'm a long part of the rebuild or not. Like, the fact that I just get to be a part of it is exciting.
I like that. I like that. All right, Jahmai, where can we tell people to follow you, social media wise? Twitter, Instagram, anywhere like that? Mixtape, anything? What can we?
I can tell you right now.
No. Oh man, I was really hoping. I was hoping there was going to be a SoundCloud link. I was hoping that was going to be the case. But where can we tell people to follow you?
No, Instagram and Twitter, the main two socials I use. Jahmai Jones 7 is for both of them.
Very good.
So.
Give him a follow there, dude. Really appreciate you sharing your story with us this morning, man. That's an incredible, powerful story. I think there's a lot of people that are going to be feeling some of those things this weekend with Father's Day, and I appreciate you being open and vulnerable with this, man. I know that can't be easy, and I genuinely appreciate you doing that. We're getting the feeling it's not going to be too long. We can't wait to see you here in Baltimore. We're going to come say hello and introduce ourselves, man. Thank you so much for doing this morning.
No, for sure. Thank you so much. I'm definitely glad to be on here, and I'm glad that you guys took the time out to have me on. So I really
Appreciate you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Jahmai Jones, the Norfolk Tides. And again, considering how he's performing and considering some of the options, I think just about all of us have been wondering, isn't it time we see him playing second base for the Baltimore Orioles?